Moron, idiot, damaged ego brain, self centered, foolish, dramatic, unwavering. No, we're not talking about Donald Trump or Joe Biden or whatever politician of the week on the left or right wing cult. We're talking about somebody everybody can agree upon who lived through it. It's the gerbil, Don Zimmer. Now, I have never respected this guy. Don't know why he was in Major League Baseball for so long. When I became a pure baseball fan in the 70s, there's a reason why I took up for the Oakland A's and the Montreal Expos, because I couldn't stand this guy as the new manager of the Red Sox. Now, he was hired as a third base coach for the Red Sox and served there for a couple years. And then after working under skipper Daryl Johnson, when Johnson was let go, it was replaced by Zimmer as manager in 1976. The Red Sox that year got third place finish in the AL East, very disappointing. Now, the Red Sox would win more than 90 games each of Zimmer's three full seasons as manager, only the second time he had pulled off his feet since World War I. His 78 team won 99 games, still the fourth best record in franchise history, but you can imagine all the games they would have won were not around. Now, he is best remembered among Red Sox fans for the team's dramatic collapse during the late aspects of the 78 campaign. After leading the Yankees by as many as 14 games, the Red Sox stumbled in August. By early September, that lead was reduced to 4 games. That lead then eventually evaporated in a 4-game series against the surging Yankees, which is still known as the Boston Massacre. The Red Sox spent the last month of the season trading first place with the Yankees, forcing a 1-game playoff on October 2nd. In that game, the Yankees took the lead permanently on a home run by Bucky Dent over Fenway Park's Green Monster, and therefore became Bucky fucking Dent. Now, during this stretch, Zimmer lost his mind. He made several questionable personnel moves. He never got along with left-handed starting pitcher Bill Spaceman Lee, which eventually led to his exit, stage right, towards the Montreal Expos for the next campaign. The feeling was mutual. Lee nicknamed Zimmer the Gerbil. Now, according to the interview I had with Bill Lee, he called him a gerbil because he had a brain like a gerbil, but he said that would be insulting to gerbils. Zimmer's outright hatred of Lee ran so deep that he gave the starting assignment in the last game of the Massacre to rookie Bobby Sproul, who had only been called up from AAA Pawtucket a few days earlier. Reportedly, team leader Carl Yastrzemski played with Zimmer to start Lee, who, along with Louis Tiant, had dominated the Yankees during their careers. Lee, for example, won 12 of 17 decisions against the Yankees in 10 years with Boston, and of course that includes the infamous brawl. Sproul allowed 4 walks, 1 hit, and 1 run in the first inning before being pulled and made only 3 more major league starts. Now, Zimmer also started Fisk, the team's longtime starting catcher, 154 times out of a possible 162, a heavy workload for a catcher. Fisk complained of sore knees for much of the stretch and missed most of the next season with a sore arm. Finally, Zimmer kept third baseman Butch Hobson in the lineup despite his .899 fielding percentage. And Hobson had various elbow miseries. Allegedly had floating bone chips, which he frequently rearranged before coming to the plate and sometimes throwing for third base. It made it impossible for him to hit for power average or throw accurately. Hobson made 18 errors during August and September 78 and a league-leading 43 errors for the season, resulting in that abysmal .899 fielding percentage. Finally, Zimmer called on Jack Brohammer to replace Hobson on September 23rd, with Brohammer a third. Boston then won its last 8 games of the regular season to force a tie with the Yankees, but the Red Sox lost the playoff game on home runs again by Dent and later on by Reggie Jackson. Now, he went on to manage the Rangers, and the less talk about that, the better. But he spent less than 2 years in a job there after his firing by owner Eddie Chites was different. Zimmer was fired on a Monday but asked to remain on through Wednesday's game before being replaced by all people Daryl Johnson. When asked for the reason he fired Zimmer, Child said it was something personal and refused to elaborate further. Now, after Texas, Zimmer coached 3 stints with the Yankees, 83, 86, 96, 2003, and then coached for the Giants in 87. He served as the third base coach for the Cubs from 84 to 86, then took over as manager of the Cubs in 88. In '89, he managed the Cup's division title. He was named Manager of the Year. All the power to him, but 10 years too late. He was eventually fired as Cubs manager during the 1991 season after a slow start. Later returned to Boston for one season as a coach under manager Butch Hobson in '92. Overall, Zimmer won 906 Major League games as a manager. He was also on the first coaching staff of the Colorado Rockies in '93 and coached until walking out without telling manager Dan Baylor in the middle of a game in the '95 season. He was unhappy that Baylor had become close to Art Howe, who was added to the Rockies coaching staff in '95. Now, again, from '96 and 014, he was a bench coach and manager assistant for the Yankees and Tampa Bay. All the good in that. I'm glad he was liked at the end. But by the way, if you went to a bar back in the day, the anger towards Zimmer was palatable because he saw the fact that the Red Sox could have easily won the World Series. This is a team never won a World Series and Babe Ruth left, 60 years before. I mean, they're going to fucking kill him. The Maritimes was even worse because, it was the Cocktees in the '77 season. The Red Sox were picking up. Bill Lee was very popular. Louis Tiant, '75, had created a lot of fans in the Maritimes because a lot of people saw the Cincinnati Reds as the Montreal Canadiens of Major League Baseball. They weren't going to take it for a team that was going to win every year, technically. But Don Zimmer, like I said, he said you shouldn't talk bad about the dead. So here he goes. Don Zimmer is dead. Good. There might be people who out there like him, but here in the real world, just like Earl Weaver messing up, fucking up World Series, like the famous incident, which that on-field official was right. He fucked up World Series. And the Orioles should have won another 4 World Series were it not for Weaver's machinations. But anyone couldn't see what he did to Hobson and Lee in '78. All the Boston Red Sox fans should have stormed Fenway Park and get that fucker out of there. That's all I can say. So if you like what we're doing with our vintage Major League Baseball podcast, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share. By the way, if Bill Lee is passing by the channels, hi Bill, come back to Martzick anytime. You're welcome anytime. We'll see you smoke a joint in front of the Moncton Mets ball field in celebration of your return. Thanks for listening. Bye.